It's recording.
Hey everybody, this is the first video for the deep and wide discussion. I know that you guys have been anxiously awaiting some kind of information on where we're going with this book and why we asked you to read it. Hopefully all of you have at least started and gotten into it a little bit. Basically, the idea is to make a video after each chapter or each section, and once you have read that section, then you can go into the video and just hear a little bit of discussion and some ideas, some things that we took away from it, some things that have to do with what we're doing right or want to do right or doing wrong or whatever, and just kind of bounce some ideas around, and then eventually get to the point where we're able to have more face-to-face conversations about what we've been learning together and kind of see where it goes. Do you have, I'll add more than that, but
yeah, it's just, and begin the discussion, once this thing gets emailed out, let's just begin the discussion, kind of firing things back and forth about some of the thoughts that you have about whatever chapter or whatever section we read.
Yeah, and so that Google document that I created, I will be just adding each of the videos to that document. So, as I said, when you finish up a chapter, you can go in and check that video out and hopefully continue the discussion. Right now, if you've started reading, the first couple of chapters are really about Andy Stanley's story, how he came to be the pastor that he is, how their church came to be, and really the first two chapters, they didn't have as many of the nuts and bolts kind of takeaways and things, but the first two chapters are really what hooked me. I think they're kind of what hooked you. And the big idea behind it being that they are totally okay with being an attractional church. That the basic concept of the book, the goofy title of Deep and Wide, is essentially this idea that they can be deep, they can dig for the truth, they don't have to pull any punches, they can not hold back and go spiritually deep, but they also want to be extremely wide with who they're trying to reach. So they're going after everyone, not just a specific group of people who like going deep spiritually, and not just seekers. They are looking for everyone, and their biggest market being unchurched, de-churched people who basically don't like going to church for some reason, or they just never have. They didn't care enough to. And that is really, that's where my heart is. That's the reason I fell in love with the Vineyard in the first place. As I went into the Vineyard building over in Tri-County, and I just felt like it was an irresistible environment. And they will talk about that through those couple of first chapters. Just that idea that this place has something that I want for some reason, even if I can't put my finger on it. Great worship, great teaching, but there's just something about this place that is going to keep calling me back, even though I don't have any church experience or anything. And that's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, and I think that when you talk about unchurched people or something, I mean, the immediate thing is this kind of catchword of seeker-sensitive stuff. And you know what? I don't know if you guys have a good feel of what that is. That's not... I don't think that that's something that we need to fear, that we're going to become seeker-sensitive. The idea, just like you said, is the deep and wide. We're going to go directly after the truth. But we are just the idea, the things that we like about this concept is that we're getting back to what this church, this Vineyard Westside, was originally founded as, and that is a church for unchurched people,
And, we've been coming to a lot of realizations or epiphanies or whatever, and something I've been sharing with some different people is just recognizing that, when we look back on when we first started Vineyard Westside, and it was a ton of fun. It was so fun, and we had very little responsibilities. We rented different facilities. We had extremely low overhead, and it was was fun. We could just do all kinds of different things. So we did tons of outreaches. We were doing servant evangelism every weekend on Saturday mornings, and we were inviting everyone. We weren't going into rich neighborhoods or poor neighborhoods specifically. We were going everywhere. And so every kind of person started showing up, and it was just exciting, and it was a movement. It felt like a movement going forward. And it was a really good time. Now, we got to the point where we needed a building, and we put so much time and effort and resources into acquiring this building that we essentially traded some things in for it. We traded in the way that we do outreach with servant evangelism. We traded in the fun we had a lot of the times because we had to work on this building now, or we had to raise funds for it, or whatever. We traded good things for good things because the building allows us to have people meet, life groups, addictions classes, all sorts of different great things that are going on, but we traded off some things. And we're kind of getting to that point where we want to get back to some of those roots and remembering that, and this place is not for us. It is for everyone who doesn't go here. Yeah. This place is for the people who don't go to this place yet. Yeah. And inviting the West Side and beyond into this place.
That's a big deal.
And so that's just kind of a basic idea. I would love for you to get through the first couple chapters. You'll fly through those if you haven't read them yet. Great story in there. But also, it kind of starts hitting on the nuts and bolts of things in chapter 3. And the next video that we'll do will be reviewing a little bit of chapter 3.
Okay. Sounds great.
See ya.